a lot of times lawyers think that leads are their problem. Same thing with a lot of business. They think that leads is the problem, right? Well, we had a client, we got him 300 leads in a single month, and he got 0 cases out of it because he didn't have his intake system handled. He's not good at sales. We can bring them the lead, right? But if they don't have their business and their infrastructure set up behind that, then they're not going to get cases. And at the end of the day, they're still going to look at it like it's our fault.
You do what? At least, you say you're at $2 million a month?
We're at 13 million right now, so that's a little more than $1 million a month right now.
Okay, so you're at least 600 grand.
13 million a year. Yeah, so we're
at over 600 grand a month in done for you services.
Yeah. So we do a lot of bundling, right? Because like we have found part of the coaching that we do, like what we found is that leads. So we work with lawyers, right? And we found that a lot of times lawyers think that leads are their problem. Same thing with a lot of business. They think that leads is the problem, right?
They're the problem.
Yeah, well, so okay, here's a great example. We had a client, we got him 300 leads in a single month, and he got 0 cases out of it because he didn't have his intake system handled. He's not good at sales. You know, like there's all these different things that we can bring them the lead, right? But if they don't have their business and their infrastructure set up behind that, then they're not going to get cases. And at the end of the day, they're still going to look at it like it's our fault, right? Because, I paid you all this money and I didn't get any cases, right? So I read a long time ago, I read the book Extreme Ownership. I think it's essential reading for just anyone in life.
Absolutely.
And it's basically like, I can complain that the clients are not actually doing their part, or I can figure out a way to fix it. So one of the things we do is now every client that we have gets an answering service that is included in the cost of their monthly fee, and now somebody answers the phone. So at least their calls aren't going to voicemail, right? But then we start doing coaching.
Do you recall years ago when everybody was complaining about that? And
answering service?
No, they were complaining about clients not calling, so they would run whatever, paid media for clients, and they say, well, they don't answer the phone.
They don't answer the phone.
And I was like, why don't you just charge them more money and hire a VA to answer the phone? Everybody's like, no, that won't work.
So we do that, and actually, but here's the thing. But here's the thing is that not only that, but we also include it as part of the offer. We're like, not only that, but you get an answering service. So now you can fire an answering service that you pay $300 a month for, and you can do that. So it makes our offer better, right? But we were realizing that they still don't know how to do sales. They still don't know how to run their business. So that's when we started saying, okay, so what we're going to start doing is not only are we going to do all this stuff for you, but what we're going to do is we're also going to teach you how to run the business. We're going to teach you the marketing principles. We're going to teach you the business strategies, teach you all that type of stuff. And at the end of the day, it's good because it allows us to increase what we sell, because now we can charge them for that. But really, it actually makes the done for you service more sticky because they're actually getting results. Because, like I said, I mean, if you get 300 leads and you don't get, like, we've done our part. Objectively, we've done our part by getting them 300 leads. They're still mad because they didn't get any clients out of it, and ultimately they still blame us because personal responsibility. And we can have a whole other conversation about that.
Or lack thereof. Yeah. Well, so I actually I saw a comment in our client group recently where, and keep in mind, we teach people how to, get clients. Mm-hmm. So, they were saying, I don't want to do sales calls, and I don't want to hire people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, then why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? It's like a fireman saying, I don't want to go into a burning building. It's like, well, I get that, but then why are you a fireman? You know, and it would be, when people try to teach people how to start businesses, they don't mention this stuff, right? They mention, like, guess what? Your clients are going to have expectations that are just insane. Mm-hmm. They're going to be like, I want you to help me grow my law firm. I want you to help me grow my coaching business. I want you to help me grow my salon, but I don't want to do any work. I don't want to be a business owner. I don't want to act like or behave like a business owner. I just want magic to happen and whatever. And it's just not realistic, and nobody talks about that. They just say, oh yeah, get clients and da-da-da. And so, you taking that responsibility to do that is huge, because most other companies are not going to do that. Most other people in your position, they're not going to do that. They're just going to bitch and moan about their clients. And don't get me wrong,
I still bitch and man. I still bitch about my clients, but at the end of the day, I still do something about it.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. It does make you feel better to go, you realize you're insane, right? You're just insane. But so what do you do for the lawyers? Like, tell me exactly. Like so a lawyer wants more cases. So you get them leads, and then you help book those leads to what? Come into the office?
No, we don't actually do. So what we do is we're kind of a full service. So you can't just hire us just to do a website, right? Or just to do blogging or just do SEO. When you hire us, basically what happens is we take over all of your internet marketing. So we handle we completely build them a new website. We rewrite all the content. We do all the search engine optimization. We do their Google business, Google My Business Profile, or Google, they change the name all the time. I don't know what it's called now. But basically when someone searches personal injury lawyer, we make it so that they show up, right? And then we also do their pay-per-click advertising. We do their Facebook advertising. We do remarketing and retargeting and all that stuff. And then we also do coaching. So I have a weekly coaching call that I do every Wednesday where I'm teaching the marketing side of it. And then my partner does a call on Thursday. He does basically the business strategy, how to hire, how to handle, all that type of stuff, So it's the full package. But at the end of the day, that's what we're doing is we're essentially making their phone ring.
How many employees do you have?
We're at 35 right now, 35 W-2. Plus we've got probably another 40 overseas.
I'm not gonna. I can hear Brandon. That makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
32 employees. Because man, it's hard to manage employees.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing.
Yeah.
I personally went so deep into like selling information and teaching people stuff that because I've had the $1 million months, and sometimes they're hard to maintain. Because you do go up and down, right? You definitely go up and down.
Yeah.
But I've always maintained a handful of staff. I'm completely removed from the business, and but here's the caveat, right? Because here's the thing, like I do have a lot of people that ask me that. They say, Dan, how do you produce that much revenue? You're basically not involved. You have a handful of employees, and everybody else. Because this is what I see. I see a lot of people out there doing other things. Like they got like a boiler room where they're like calling leads, if they'll make these massive marketing systems where they're selling tons of different products, and then they're calling everybody to make pretty much the same revenue, where we're just like, no, we just sell one thing, one coaching program, here you go, boom.
Yeah.
And you just watch a video, and if you want to book a call, you book. It's simple, right? But at the same time, there's a caveat to that, because your company is sellable. Your company is acquirable.
Yeah.
When you're the personal brand, even if you're not involved, even if you're not doing the coaching anymore, you have a team, it's difficult to sell that company. If you own an e-com company,
nobody knows who the owner is.
Nobody knows who the owner is. And when you sell it, you get this insane multiple, right? Yeah. Or a supplement company, you get this insane multiple. So that's why I've always viewed a coaching company as like, hey, I'm going to make a bunch of cash.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to sell it, but my life's going to be super simple, and I'm going to be able to invest that into something else. That's how I've always lived it. But what you're doing, I think it's awesome that you're doing this much revenue from Done For You, because, dude, if you ever wanted to sell that, you can sell Done For You.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like.
Yeah, and that's why we pivoted, because this isn't how I've always done it. I started as the flat fee, we're going to do this coaching program. It's $25,000. You just wire us the money. And then we do the work and we do the coaching, but we never have anything else to sell them. And then I started looking at it. And like you said, I was at this point where we got so big. I mean, look, 4 million isn't that big in the grand scheme of some businesses. But for me, at the size I was at, it wasn't worth it for me to continue pushing harder to get to 5 million or 6 million because of the added. Like I was having to do so much work in actually running the business rather than doing the stuff that I want to do, which is the marketing and the creative stuff and the offers and presentations and everything. And I was finding that all day long I was doing the CEO stuff.
You still want to do that though?
Yeah, I love doing that.
See, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit in my condo and read philosophy books and.
I mean, I like, what it is though.
really-
I like reading, I like marketing, and then I'll read something and I'm like, oh man, that's like I've been, because I've been getting into Dan Kennedy stuff, like Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham stuff, like crazy lately.
I thought about doing the day with him where you go out.
Is he still doing that?
He is, and I think I'm going to do it.
Is he doing? I didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah, he's doing it. I think it's like 18 grand, and you spend like 6 hours.
18 grand?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean,
no, I'm saying that's nothing.
I know. Yeah.
No, I'd do that in a second.
Yeah, it's like 18 grand, and you spend like 6 hours with him. And
Damn, dude, I didn't even know that.
And he probably just tells you how stupid you are.
Probably, yeah.
But that's fine. We need that.
Yeah, no.
Like, so then some.
I don't even know what we were talking about. I'm blown away because I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually hanging out with Jason Capital in Puerto Rico. We were at the gym, and he was telling me about he did the castle day with Dan Pena or whatever. And
he just yells at you in a castle. Is that what that is?
Well, I don't. You know who Dan Pena is, right? Like you see his stuff, and you're like, this guy's insane, right? And he's just like so insulting and all that. But like everybody that I know that's gone and done whatever the day is with him, they come back and they make like $1 billion or something. Like, and I'm like, all right, something's going on at that castle.
There's something. There's something to be said about going somewhere and having an outside, fresh set of eyes look at your stuff. Like, look, you and I, like, you remember the pivotal point in my business is when you had me switch from low ticket to high ticket. Yeah, you remember what happened?
You were the first person that I actually, because that's like a big thing. Like people don't charge enough. And I was trying to like, because I started charging more and it was working out really well. And I was trying to take all the clients, you included, and I was like, you guys need to raise your prices. And you were one of the first that actually listened to me. Yeah,
but see, that's the thing is that if you notice there's a theme here is that I always listen to you.
I know you did. So that's the thing. So here's the funny part, right? And I'm not, this is going to make me sound so pretentious, but you literally did every single thing I ever said. And you grew the fastest of anyone, you know? And then like people started going, oh, maybe there's a thing there. And don't get me wrong, people have paid me a lot of money. And I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying I'm always right, because I'm not. But I've been doing this so long, and I've heard so many, I've been on so many coaching calls, because I know I removed myself from the business, but I was more involved for longer than most people.
Yeah.
Most of the people that have those similar businesses that are up there, they get out way sooner. And I didn't. I stayed in for a while. So I just had that opportunity to speak with so many people so many times that I was just like, I haven't heard anything new in a long time. Like you give me a problem, and then I teach my staff. I'm like, all right, if somebody gives you this problem, this is what you tell them. Because this is not their unique. People think that. Yeah. They think, oh, I have this unique problem and I need unique help. No, you don't. You don't have a unique problem. You don't. It's the same problem that 1,000 other people have, and you're making the same mistake that 1,000 other people have, and that's that. And that's just the reality of it. And that's not my opinion. That's just what I've seen, because we have thousands and thousands and thousands of clients, and you know.